Totally
I
better
said I'm
than
starting.
Nirvana.
I wonder why I'm fucking starting, buddy.
Why are you sorry?
Yeah, I am.
What did you do?
What do you mean?
Why are you sorry?
I said I'm starting. No, you're not hearing that, buddy. Not necessarily, because you can't hear. No. Just leave her out there. She's good. See what we have here. I already watched that. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yeah. I don't know, Clay. I'm still trying to do this. All right, everybody. Welcome. Today, we're going to be doing some reacts. I got 4 or 5 videos here. We might play some Apex. Don't know. 3-day streak streaming. We'll just get right into it, bro.
By SourceBrew, and his video will be linked in the description below. Hey guys, Blame It On George here, and this is the Where Did These Images Come From iceberg. It was created by SourceBrew, and his video will be linked in the description below. But I thought it was such a cool idea, and many of these topics are nostalgic for me, so I got the okay from SourceBrew to cover it on my channel. He and some other creators are here to narrate a few entries. Anyways, on with the video. Jeff the Killer. Jeff the Killer is a horror character, created in the early 2010s as a creepypasta.
Oh. No, bro, I still get chills from this shit. On everything. I still get chills from this fucking picture. I don't know why. It's just weird.
A staple genre of internet folklore. The story involves a young boy named Jeff, who undergoes a traumatic event, leading to his transformation into a psychotic killer. The accompanying image depicts a pale, emotionless face with a wide, disturbing smile and black eyes. The character in other media is often portrayed with
I don't know why this image gives me the creeps.
A disheveled appearance and a menacing expression. For several years, it was believed that the Jeff the Killer image originated from a 2008 4chan post about Katie Robinson, a young girl who committed suicide after being cyberbullied. 4chan users supposedly edited a photo of her into Jeff the Killer, but this was later proven to be untrue, as earlier appearances of the image online began to get discovered. Searchers eventually found that the image could be traced back to Japan, and are currently investigating several persons of interest.
Stairs in the woods. The Stairs in the Woods image is a popular internet meme and photo featuring a set of stairs leading into a dense forest. It is often used to symbolize mystery or the unknown. The phenomenon itself and many of the images it spawned all seem to appear around the same time, and even inspired its own subreddit, dedicated to images of stairs in the woods, which seem to create this uneasy and dreadful feeling. So, how did the picture come to be in the first place? It would turn out that the image is completely real, and that the stairs are there thanks to an art project by the name of Observatory, by an artist named Bruce Allen in 1988. He built the stairs as a protest to the deforestation happening at the time, and as a way to also admire the surrounding forest scenery. It resides in the Forest of Dean in England, and was inspired by ancient astronomical observatories in India. It was actually decommissioned in 2014, but its legacy lives on, such as in these uncanny images.
Smile Dog. Smile Dog, being one of the most famous of these images, is a terrifying picture of a husky with a rather unsettling smile, and it spawned a creepypasta story of the same name. In the story, Smile Dog is a supernatural entity taking the form of a demon husky that forces people into spreading his message on the internet lest they be killed by it. As for the image itself, some people seem to give pretty damning proof that Smile Dog was 3 images stitched together in Photoshop of a dark room, a dog, and some teeth. And it seems that one Reddit user located the image used for the dog itself in one Reddit post showcasing a pretty similar looking head, but with a few key differences, likely as a part of the Photoshop. However, there is a second photo with Smile Dog that no one has been able to figure out yet, which remains unsolved.
The back rooms. Between 2011 and 2018, a photograph of a large, carpeted room with fluorescent lights and dividing walls
Just happened. Yo, it stopped my recording, bro. But yeah, what I was gonna say. Smile Dog never freaked me out when I was little. She was kind of fucking stupid.
Between 2011 and 2018, a photograph of a large, carpeted room with fluorescent lights and dividing walls circulated the internet. And on May of 2019, an anonymous user made a thread on 4chan's paranormal board asking users to, quote, post disquieting images that just feel off, accompanying the thread with the photograph. Later, a user replied to the post, giving the image its name and the first description of the back rooms. Since its popularity, people have expanded on the concept of the back rooms, introducing levels and hostile creatures that inhabit the space. The image was found to be taken during the renovation of...
Oh yeah, did y'all see the new Backgrounds movie that came out? Backgrounds, holy shit. Backrooms movie that is coming out. I think, what's after this month? If it's April, wait, am I stupid? May 28th. I'm pretty sure May 28th, the Backrooms movie comes out.
Quote, a former furniture store with plenty of partitions and fake inner walls in Wisconsin. It was of an American hobby shop called Hobby Town, and sometime in 2002, the second story underwent renovations. On June 12, 2002, the progress was photographed with a Sony CyberShot camera, and on March 2, 2003, the various interior views were documented on the renovation's weblog. One photo depicts a carpeted open room with yellow wallpaper and fluorescent lighting on a Dutch angle. This was the image that would go on to inspire the concept of the back rooms, and that is where the image came from.
Teletubbies hospital image. This is perhaps one of the most known cursed images. A kid sits...
Hey, bro. back in like 80s, 90s, I don't know when the Teletubbies came out. I'm a little autistic. This probably wasn't scary in the 80s and 90s. I see one of these motherfuckers come up to me. Right hook. Oh, hell no.
It's in a hospital bed surrounded by what appears to be bootleg Teletubbies, but what really makes it seem unnerving and uncanny is their lack of eyes, making them appear almost soulless. Actually, they're missing multiple features, and it looks like they don't have mouths. The photo was posted to Reddit multiple times, and one commenter pointed out that he recognized the calendar in the background of the photo, saying it must have been Christmas in a UK hospital, with Teletubbies visiting children and giving gifts. The calendar is a Dennis Bergkamp Arsenal calendar, and another commenter would add that since Arsenal is based in Islington, a borough in London, the photo must have been taken in the Great Ormond Street Hospital. It's a famous children's hospital in the neighboring borough of Camden. Teletubbies was first broadcast in March 1997 and was nationally popular not long afterwards, so the photo was probably from around 1998. The proof isn't definitive and mostly speculative, so it's hard to say if it's really a photo from a UK hospital.
Squidward College. An image of a building with Squidward's face plastered on it has become a viral sensation, often referred to online as Squidward Community College. This bizarre meme has circulated widely since its initial appearance in December of 2019, when it was first shared on Twitter. Over time, it inspired countless reposts, memes, and jokes. Now, despite its popularity, the origins of the building remain unclear. The earliest known instance of the image can be traced back to a now unavailable article on airforcebase.net. Some have speculated about its location, with one Reddit user in 2024 claiming it was near Riverside, Chicago. However, this claim has not been verified. A reverse image search reveals that the building has appeared online as far back as 2017, used as a generic example of flat roof architectural design. Yet no concrete evidence has surfaced to confirm the actual location of the structure, or even if it exists in the form seen in the meme. As of 2024, the building's true origins remain unclear.
Red mist. The red mist image is mostly
This might be the fucking... This is not even scary. This just looks like Squidward on cocaine. I don't know.
known from a creepypasta about a supposed lost episode named Squidward's. For obvious reasons, this notorious image and associated story isn't officially recognized by Nickelodeon or the SpongeBob creators. However, it would seem that even the person behind the story had no idea who made the pertaining image. To this day, very little is known about the origins of the image, outside of it first surfacing sometime in the early 2000s.
Blank Room Soup. This entry, known as Blank Room Soup, is a disturbing internet meme and creepypasta that originated from a short video clip. The video shows a man sitting in a dimly lit room, eating soup. The man's face is obscured, and the room is bare and unsettling. Costume characters would then enter the room to comfort the man. The exact origins of the video and its meaning are unclear, but it's become a popular subject of discussion and analysis among internet users.
See, it's the point of, I know this motherfucker got 3 of his friends goes, guys, I got these costumes. Let me start eating soup and you guys can start petting me. Get behind there, get behind there. Sets up the camera. Oh my god, this is fucking hilarious.
Some speculate that the video is a piece of performance art, while others believe it to be a genuine recording of a disturbing event. The costume characters are known as Ray Ray, created by animator Raymond S. Percy. Prior to Blank Room Soup, Percy apparently had some of his props stolen from their RV, including 2 Ray Ray costumes. It's been theorized that whoever stole the costumes created Blank Room Soup, but others believe that Percy himself was in on the gag as a viral marketing stunt.
Liminal spaces. The concept of a liminal space has become popular in recent years, especially on social media platforms and sites like Reddit.
See, that would be scary. I ain't even affect you. I would think a motherfucker's gonna jump out and just touch me inappropriately. That would not be cool.
People
On jaw.
share images and videos of these liminal spaces, often accompanied by eerie or nostalgic music, and sometimes with a strange or creepy story attached. These images invoke an eerie feeling of loneliness and are usually pictures of enclosed, empty, and large spaces. Probably the most eerie thing about these photos is that most liminal spaces are not fake, but rather real-life images which you can trace back to their actual locations, such as the Holiday Inn in Heathrow Airport. However, there exists liminal space artwork too, such as the pool rooms made by Jared Pike.
Slender Man. Slender Man is a fictional supernatural character that originated as a creepypasta internet meme. He is depicted as a thin, unnaturally tall humanoid with a featureless white head and face, wearing a black suit. He is said to stalk, abduct, or scare people, especially children. Those who see him may experience paranoia, insomnia, and other mental health issues. Eric Knudsen, under the pseudonym Victor Surge, created the Slender Man as part of a Photoshop contest on the Something Awful website in 2009. The challenge was to create paranormal images. He is said to stalk, abduct, or scare people, especially children. Those who see him may experience paranoia, insomnia, and other mental health issues. Eric Knudsen, under the pseudonym Victor Surge, created the Slender Man as part of a Photoshop contest on the Something.
Fuck you and dine. General bullshit. Something awful. Oh, I'm gonna have to blur that out. That's
Something Awful website in 2009. The challenge was to. Knudsen's creation quickly gained popularity, and the Slender Man's backstory and lore were further
Yo!
developed by other.
Yo, it's lagging. Oh shoot, hold on. There we go.
Internet users.
The Rake. The Rake is a disturbing creature with an uncanny appearance.
Oh, yo, this one's actually fucking creepy, man. Yo, bro, I'm seeing that shit. I'm not even moving, bro. I'm freezing up. Like the fight or flight reaction. I'm acting like a fucking tree, bro. I'm gone.
And unsettling behavior. It's a tall, hairless humanoid with long, spindly limbs and a pale, gaunt face. It's said to appear in people's dreams and sometimes in their waking lives, clearly inspired by phenomena such as sleep paralysis. Supposedly, the Rake is a malevolent entity that feeds on fear and can cause psychological distress. It's described as stalking its victims, observing them from the shadows and sometimes causing physical harm. So where does the Rake come from? One user on Reddit says, quote, It's a promotional image for the video game Resistance 3. It apparently is supposed to be a Grim, which is an enemy from the game. It is quite unlikely that it's a drawing, so I think it's safe to say that it's photoshopped. Other comments were quick to disprove this theory, as the creature from the game looked different than the rake. Another commenter says that the image originates from an unnamed person's trail camera, and that the rake is 100% real. He goes on to say that the original poster of the image had sold his property and blocked off acres of land on which the photo was taken. This story seems a bit far-fetched and unlikely, and the origins of the rake remain unclear.
Eyeless Jack. Eyeless Jack is a tall, slender figure.
No. No. No way, Jose. Not today. Never. Nah, blah, 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 blah.
With a pale complexion and, as the name suggests, no eyes. In most depictions, his empty eye sockets ooze a black substance. He is known for being a cannibalistic creature that is drawn to the scent of kidneys. The name suggests, no eyes. In most depictions, his empty eye sockets ooze a black substance. He is known for being a cannibalistic creature that is drawn to the scent of kidneys. He stalks his victims, typically young people, and then game-ends them in a brutal manner, removing their organs. The first time this image appeared on the internet was June 7th in 2010, posted on 4chan by a user named Arnon. One Twitter user, @PirateCashew, has claimed to be the creator of the original image, and his proof for that is that he posted an unblurred image of Eyeless Jack on his Twitter, an image that nobody else has. So it would seem that he most certainly would be the original creator.
Wario Apparition. The Wario Apparition is a glitch or anomaly that supposedly appears in certain copies of Super Mario 64, depicting a distorted, monstrous version of Wario. The legend suggests that this apparition can be triggered by specific actions or glitches within the game. Apparently, this figure can cause glitches, crashes, or even damage to the game cartridge. It's an uncommon anomaly in the game, and perhaps one of the most popular Super Mario 64 related legends. The explanation for its appearance is that it's allegedly determined by something known as the personalization AI, but what causes it to summon the apparition is unknown. In reality, it's part of a meme that started online and was later edited into footage of the game, making it seem real when it is in fact fake.
Russian sleep experiments.
Yo, I'm not sleeping tonight, bro. What is this? Aren't these like fake pictures? Aren't these fake pictures? I'm pretty sure these are fake pictures.
Russian sleep experiments is a popular creepypasta that tells the tale of a Soviet-era experiment involving a sleep inhabiting gas on 5 prisoners. The story details how the gas successfully kept the subjects awake, but led to increasingly disturbing and horrific consequences, ultimately resulting in their deaths and a catastrophic lab explosion. While the story is widely shared and often believed to be true, it's entirely fictional. There is no historic or scientific evidence to support its claims. The narrative originated from a combination of real-life sleep deprivation experiments, urban legends, and horror storytelling techniques. And like the images of Slender Man and the Rake, the Russian sleep experiment images have absolutely become iconic in the creepypasta genre. These aren't actually photos from any real-life experiments. The two photos associated with the Russian sleep experiment are one of a group of people wearing gas masks and one of a creature/person with a creepy smile and sunken eyes. The reason the people in the first photo are wearing gas masks is allegedly because the photo is a demonstration by American soldiers, showing the different types of masks worn by the Brits, French, and German troops. The more iconic photo of the eerie humanoid-looking creature is actually just a black and white photo of a life-size animatronic Halloween prop called Spasm.
Mario victim number 1. This unsettling image appears briefly in Mario, a ROM hack of the iconic game Super Mario World. Mario victim number 1 is part of a larger, full-blown ARG filled with media besides Mario. The image in question depicts a woman with her mouth agape, with a red tint. The story goes that supposedly it's of a woman who was found dead in a sewer pipe, with her eyeballs missing. And apparently the image was lost for many years, but was recently discovered. In contrast to many of the other entries on this iceberg, the image associated with the entry was not created by the creepypasta authors. The truth is that the original image is an edited photo of a Japanese cosplayer of Kyo, a vocalist for a heavy metal band called Deer and Grey, which was discovered on the 1st of September in 2023.
Have you seen this man? Here's a face you've probably seen around the internet. This man is a fascinating and somewhat eerie internet phenomenon.
Bro. No, like, on everything, I feel like I've seen this man before. On job, bro. I feel like I've seen this man. But I feel like I'm going crazy, bro.
Created by Italian sociologist and marketer Andrea Nutella. In 2008, Nutella launched a website called Ever Dream This Man, featuring a composite image of a man's face and claiming that numerous people around the world had reported dreaming about this mysterious figure since 2006. The website garnered significant attention and sparked widespread discussion and speculation. Many people shared their own experiences of dreaming about the man, while others questioned the authenticity of the claims. In 2010, Nutella revealed that the site was a hoax as part of a guerrilla marketing campaign. According to him, the image was actually just an illustration of his father, leaving the question of how or why all these other people saw this in their dreams.
Dick the Birthday Boy. I'm sure most of you are familiar with or have heard of Five Nights at Freddy's and know what the animatronics are, but how about in real life? The animatronic in this photo is legitimately frightening to look at. But the origin of this photo is actually pretty funny and wholesome, unlike some other entries we have on here. The blurry photo was originally shared by popular YouTube channel Red Letter Media. The image is actually of Rich Evans of that channel, who is pictured as a child wearing a shirt saying Dick the Birthday Boy on it as he stands alongside Billy Bob Bear, a mascot for a now defunct restaurant, Showbiz Pizza Place. It was later revealed that this was a set of family photos, so this is just one of those more wholesome entries on this list.
Momo. There's an old urban legend.
Stop with this! I have generational trauma from these fucking images. I remember when I was like fucking 2 years, not even 2, holy shit, 2 years old, fuck. I remember I was like fucking 8. I'd see this I'd see fucking Momo or some shit and start fucking tweaking. Oh. Ugh.
About a WhatsApp phone number
I don't even like looking at her.
that will message you disturbing photographs if you attempt to contact it, linked to a game referred to as the Momo Challenge. Ever seen this image? It's very likely you have if you've spent any time online. Momo is a meme turned creepypasta character. The nickname was given to a sculpture of a young woman with long black hair, large bulging eyes, a wide smile, and bird legs. Originally, Momo was created by a Japanese man named Kisuke Aso Aisawa. In 2018, people started stealing images of the sculpture, and stories of the sculpture started to spread around.
Mariana Mortegard Glesgorv. You may have heard of a video on YouTube named Mariana Mortegard Glesgorv. If you search this, you will find a video of a man staring intently at you, and then grinning for the last 2 seconds of the video. The story goes that this short bit is part of a bigger video that YouTube removed after 153 people viewed it and gouged out their eyes, mailing them to YouTube's main office in San Bruno. Periodically, YouTube will let the first few seconds of the video be uploaded to quell the curiosities of the internet, so that people won't go looking for the real thing. That's how the original story went, but in a hilarious twist, people identified the footage to be of an edited video of a guy named Byron Cortez. His image was pulled from a 2004 online survey about marketing professionals.
Goatman. Goatmen are creatures from American folklore that have been prevalent since the 1970s. The exact origins of the Goatman legend itself are difficult to pinpoint, as folklore often evolves over time. When you think of the Goatman, I'd say this photo stands out. It's probably photoshopped or edited in some way, but we don't actually know where the photo emerged from. Some sources say that the photo is of a goat hunter who wanted to test his imitation suit, and that's how the photo came to be. And some say that it was a VFX artist who made it. While the Goatman is a popular urban legend, there is no scientific evidence to support its existence, and not enough documentation to fight the claim either.
Ori Chef. Ori Chef is an internet figure who gained attention for her unsettling social media presence, especially on Facebook. People noticed that Ori's profiles only featured a small set of photos, slightly edited each time. Even stranger, her friends and linked accounts were just more profiles of Ori Chef, sharing similar posts. Some accounts were said to include disturbing content.
Hold on, bro. All right, bro, we're back.
Like violent
Thought I heard some. I'm getting psyched out right now, bro.
imagery and chilling claims about wanting to harm her children. One red filter photo was tied to a story about a woman whose botched plastic surgery led to tragic consequences. Many theories emerged about Ori's identity. Some thought it was one person with a dark sense of humor, others suspected her group or even a bot. The real story, however, is much simpler. The woman behind these accounts admitted she made them for Facebook games, and later embraced the creepy persona when people started spreading rumors. The infamous photo wasn't connected to Ori at all. It's of a Sydney woman who survived a car accident, leaving her with minor facial injuries. Unfortunately, she became a target of harassment due to the legend.
Black Ghost Woman.
Oh,
Here's a much more
yo. Good ass video, but like, hey. Ugh.
obscure entry. It's a picture of two Japanese girls looking out a window. One smiling and one kinda looking sad. Behind a sad girl is a mysterious and eerie black silhouette. Doing a bit of digging, this is likely a visualization of a Japanese urban legend known as the Shadow Lady, or Kageyana. The legend is about a ghostly figure that appears as a shadow on windows and doors. The shadowy figure is often depicted as a young woman or an old crone. To explain the image in question for people who are wondering, according to YouTuber Sakura Stardust, it's from a 2005 Japanese film titled Only the Two of Us.
Liars, Jimmy.
Oh.
Delving into much lesser known territory.
See, but this is literally just a blurry picture taken with some Photoshop, bro. Like,
Here's a blurred image of a person with a seemingly disfigured face in a snowy setting. Enter Jimmy. One day, an angry classmate named Brett finally had enough of Jimmy's wise guy attitude after he made a crude joke about him. He and a group of kids who hated Jimmy cornered him after school, dragged him into the science lab, and poured acid on his face, causing burns that scarred him horribly. The principal questioned them, and he told them that Jimmy did it to himself, and that they were only there to help him, which he believed. Jimmy was horrified that they got away with what they had done, and he planned his revenge on each of them while in the hospital. Months later, Brett receives a videotape in the mail, and upon watching the tape realizes that his friends who had a hand in disfiguring Jimmy were tortured and killed. Brett, fearing for his life, tries to run away only to be tripped by Jimmy. The story ends with Jimmy saying the phrase, "liars," before pouring acid all over Brett, killing him. The mysterious image attached to the story is actually from a music video for a song called "We Fenced Other Gardens with the Bones of Our Own" by an experimental rock band named Liars. In the music video, it shows a group of 3 friends with animal makeup attacking each other.
Skinwalker. This is an image of what's supposed to be a skinwalker. Skinwalkers are technically a cryptid from the Navajo mythology who possesses the ability to shapeshift in animals, most commonly being in the form of a wolf, coyote, or bird. In Navajo culture, skinwalkers are considered to be malevolent beings who use their power to harm others. They're said to prey on the living, causing sickness, misfortune, and even death. The fear of skinwalkers
fuck. Oh, that's nasty.
is deeply ingrained in Navajo culture, and many people believe that they still exist today. The image in question of what is allegedly a skinwalker is from a now deleted 2014 Facebook post that says the image is a picture captured by a geologist of this entity. But in reality, the image is just a screenshot from a 1983 horror film called Zatro.
Creepy Barney. So there's a trend on the internet of taking the beloved children's character Barney the dinosaur and making him appear creepy through various image manipulations and memes. Or in this case, just what happens to be an incredibly scuffed Barney costume. Unlike most of our entries on the list, it's actually quite hard to find anything about this picture outside of a Reddit thread by a now deleted user who uploaded the photo, claiming it to be of his friend when he was a kid. It was uploaded to the r/creepy subreddit over 9 years ago, and the user even commented on his post, saying that he would often ask his friend from the photo for more details about it. But the uploader never came back to their post, and their account has been deleted, so to this day, we still don't actually know anything about it. Mickey Mouse Basement. The Mickey Mouse Basement image became widely memed.
It's just weird. It's not even scary, it's just weird.
And has gained widespread popularity online. There's a person standing in the photo wearing various Mickey Mouse cosplay items like gloves and boots, and most notably, an eerily broken Mickey Mouse mask/head. A Reddit user was actually able to find a second image too, and yet we still don't know anything, as neither did the uploader who found the second image. Most theories surrounding the photos all share the sentiment that it's just another random cursed photo for creepypastas and memes about some dudes who are probably messing around and decided to put on a dirty Mickey suit to pose in a basement for a scary photo. One of the only leads we have is of an X/Twitter user at NicoDellaFabs, who posted that their friend dated the guy posing as Mickey in the photo, but they would never elaborate or comment further on their thread.
Ghost Mirror Girl. As with some of the older entries on this list, this entry is actually a video. It's one of the first known fake ghost videos on YouTube and is a classic screamer video uploaded in 2008 by ncook1234. As of 2024, the original has accumulated more than 111 million views, and it was also the first screamer of 2008. The video starts by showing a young girl who is putting on her earrings. After she puts them on, she briefly looks away and waves to the camera. Then the camera zooms in on the mirror, and the young girl's reflection turns demonic, as her eyes and mouth widen, screaming at the camera while the real girl still waves at the camera. This classic video has a sequel too, titled Possessed Girl Beheads Herself in Her Bedroom, that was uploaded in 2000.
Yes? What? Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna be right back.
It features a woman going up to what is possibly her daughter hiding under a blanket and pulls it off of her. Girl beheads herself in her bedroom, that was uploaded in 2009. It features a woman going up to what is possibly her daughter hiding under a blanket and pulls it off of her, revealing her possessed state.
Gates' face. Here's a relatively recent image. Gates' face appears to be a deformed person in front of a black background, and it's usually seen with a caption saying that it was found on a singular copy of the Microsoft trivia tape. Whatever that is, it's never really explained. A commenter on a Reddit thread researching this image would go on to write that it originated from AI with the prompt Jeff the Killer, later modified with some filters and posted as a creepypasta. They say that it's unclear who posted it first. They wrote that their proof was from a TikTok account making many creepy AI images. This seems to be the most likely origin of it, and the unedited version really does look like Jeff the Killer a bit.
Dolphin Muzzle. This is the entity known as the Dolphin Man. Originally, this video was posted on YouTube in 2007, and it was titled Dolphin
Okay. This is literally just a guy that got like some sculpture painting or whatever the fuck it's called. And it was like, yo, this is tough. Let me put this on the U.
Muzzle and was posted by the YouTube channel called North Fur. The 40-second video shows a man in a dolphin mask, and its uncanny look likely creeped people out. The costume and the makeup were a realistic depiction of a dolphin's appearance if it were mixed with a human. The low-fidelity camera didn't help in regards of how scary it might have appeared either. Definitely is in that uncanny valley vibe. Then, recently, in the last few years, this video resurfaced on TikTok and YouTube, with people adding twists to the original video. In reality, the creator of this original video actually sells these masks and muzzles for costume purposes. And it's not just dolphin costumes, but tons of other animals like walruses, rhinos, You can find their products on northfur.ca. And to everyone's wholesome surprise, the man underneath the costume turns out to be a really chill guy, based on the tutorials and showcases that you can find on the Northfur FX YouTube channel.
"1983 Clown. If you've stumbled upon this haunting clown animatronic for
Fucking hate clowns. Fucking hate clowns, man.
the first time, good luck sleeping tonight. This unsettling figure was created in 1983 by Aaron Fector of Creative Engineering Inc., who served as a mall kiosk greeter for the IAAPA convention. Its original purpose was to welcome visitors, but its eerie appearance has since earned it a place in internet horror lore. The clown, dressed in a vibrant and colorful costume, complete with a wig, was designed to showcase Creative Engineering's costume department. It was positioned inside a booth resembling a carousel, featuring 4 white bars and a circular, multicolored top. Since the animatronic lacks legs, it sat on a large, colorful wooden platform. While the show tape that powered the clown is largely a mystery, it is known to have had 6 movements. However, the jerky motions combined with its vacant stare have only amplified its creepy reputation. Today, the clown's face has melted, its original head mechanism is missing and stuffed, and its eyes have been replaced. The booth it once sat in has been dismantled and placed in storage. Despite this, the animatronic itself still resides in the basement of Creative Engineering Inc., rotting away. The clown's name and original audio remain unknown, as no sound accompanies the show tape.
Satan's Sphinx. This image is usually accompanied by a caption saying that the boy went missing in a town in South Carolina. The image is tied to an alleged video called Satan's Sphinx. The video doesn't exist, and it's just a creepypasta that originated on 4chan. According to the legend, watching the video can lead to severe mental and physical harm, including hallucinations, paranoia, and in some cases, even death. But the real truth is that picture is actually from an album called Decade of Dust, made by a band fittingly named Hell Horse. Furthermore, people have determined that the freaky masks worn by the people in the photo are due to an old tradition called Krampus, which served as a way to punish children who had been bad. These people would put on those masks and dress up and run through the streets, which would be crowded by spectators as they tried to scare children and show them that bad behavior is, wrong.
Grave Robbing for Morons. Grave Robbing for Morons is a mysterious and intriguing video that has captivated the internet for years. It's a VHS tape recorded in the 1980s by an unidentified teenager who provides a bizarre and somewhat comical tutorial on how to rob graves. The video's creator gave his and the cameraman's names, being Anthony and Gino, but somehow still managed to remain anonymous, adding to its mystique. One of the biggest questions surrounding the video is whether it's a genuine instructional guide or a satirical piece. Some believe that the video is a genuine attempt to teach people how to rob graves, while others argue that it's a satirical work meant to mock the idea of grave robbing.
Tomino's Hell. This entry stands out because it's centered around a poem rather than just a creepy image. Tomino's Hell is a Japanese poem by Saijo Yaso, published in 1919 as part of his 27th poetry collection. Over time, an eerie legend has formed around it, claiming that the poem should only be read silently. According to the rumor, reciting it out loud brings misfortune or tragedy, though the origins of this superstition are unclear. The story became widely discussed on the Japanese forum 2channel, where users would read the poem and share their experiences. While many claim nothing unusual happened, others posted chilling accounts before disappearing from the conversation entirely. The image often linked to Tomino's Hell is actually a cropped painting by Japanese artist Yuko Tatsushima titled, "I Can No Longer Be a Bride." The painting was reportedly inspired by the artist's personal trauma following. In Japanese culture, such events were often associated with stigma, making it difficult for women to marry or maintain their reputation, hence the painting and its title.
Desiree Snake Hands. This is one of the freakiest entries on the iceberg, both because of the person it pertains to and because we know so little about it. The sole details and resources available for this mysterious and creepy image is a single Reddit post on r/creepy, posted by a user named Spacey. The only lead we have is from a commenter whose profile is now deleted, who wrote this, quote, Desiree Snakehands, a street performer from 1930s Manila, was born and raised in the city where she did most of her busking for other poor urchins, and was noted for being arrested on 5 separate occasions regarding the sudden disappearances of other children. Never once was enough evidence produced to convict her, but her behavior in the ramshackle wooden courts of law included eye-crossing, vivid and violent mimicry, screaming at intervals, and bouts of juggling was enough to frighten the jury. By 1941, she became ill of typhoid and was found dead on a rooftop in one of the wealthiest parts of town, above the house of a notable theater producer. It was still unknown how her act was performed at this point. Some evidence suggests that this is a hoax and a piece of performance art done by an artist named Zhu Ming in 1981, but the evidence is not entirely concrete, even though it's all we have.
Falling body. This is the falling body image, also known as the Cooper family photo. It's a photo of what
Be so dead ass. Okay, like, this is actually, I don't know how to put it. Probably photoshopped. Could you imagine you're taking a picture? Your guy's sitting there going, or wait, this is like old. Get ready, guys. Get ready. And as it's flashing, you just see a dead body fall. I'm just turning around and leaving. I'm running out of there, bro. Or I'm screaming. I'm screaming like a little bitch. I don't care.
appears to be 2 female family members with 2 kids on their laps sitting at a table with an upside down, unidentified body hanging out in front of them. The photo's pretty well known too. It was taken in the 1950s and there was a book written about it called Urban Legend: The True Story of the Copper Family Photo by Richard Ramsdell. Allegedly, the first day the family moved in, they took a picture of their new home. When the picture was developed, the image of the body falling from the ceiling was clearly visible. Many of the current theories are that it's either a ghost, a hoax, or what I believe to be most likely a simple camera malfunction.
Camera malfunction? This is not no camera malfunction, buddy. Also, oh, that would be creepy. You take the picture, you develop it, you go into the red room, as up they're called. Wait a good hour or so. You come back and you see that. I'm moving out, bro. I'm moving out. You ain't never catching me step a foot in that house again. Put that on jaw.
Mannequin head under stall. Approaching some of our scariest entries on the list, we have this incredibly off-putting image of a mannequin head peeking under a toilet stall. It's really just a cursed image slash screenshot from a 2016 YouTube video, taken from a prank video where they prank people using bathroom stalls by putting a mannequin head under and over the stalls. It's since then been used in various creepypastas and
I'm kicking the shit out of that mannequin. I see that, I'm going,
hoaxes, most notably one known as the McGrady tape, which is a creepypasta story about a supposed videotape dropped off at a Blockbuster in McGrady, North Carolina, containing a recording of a person's face looking under a bathroom stall for 40 minutes straight.
Black Figures Ritual. In this picture, 10 hooded figures can be seen surrounding a car and performing some sort of ritual.
they look like an opposite of the KKK. And like instead of like the white hoods, they're all black hoods. And what if they're like all black people and they hate white people? That'd be nutty.
Side of the appearance of the car itself, the picture being black and white would indicate that it was taken a long time ago. I couldn't find any background information on it, let alone its origins. All I found were 1 or 2 memes using this picture. But after extensive searching, I found out that it's from a late 90s American short independent horror film called Coven. It's about a guy named Mike who is at his wit's end, and is convinced by the only friend he has left to join a support group that later turns out to have a deeper occult agenda, and who uses extreme, sometimes supernatural tactics to help new members remain clean and sober. I just wanted to add context to the photo.
The Expressionless.
Oh,
The Expressionless is a somewhat obscure creepypasta about a strange and demonic woman who arrived at the Cedars-Sinai Hospital in June 1971 wearing a bloodied white gown. Long story short, she goes on to say that she's God and ends up killing everyone at the hospital, except for the nurse who would tell the story itself, and would also dub the woman as the Expressionless. However, the real origin of the photo is that it's a picture of 2 student nurses and a waxworks dummy used for training. The picture was taken by photographer
thought.
Lord Snowden in 1968 for his book Assignments.
SCP-106. Officially, the origin of the first original picture of SCP-106
this just isn't scary.
is still anonymous. It's believed that it originated from one of 4chan's creepy threads. There was a thread that said the whole picture was photoshopped, while the face was taken from World War I and the body was taken from a random male model. It's a topic that has been milked a lot, yet no one really knows or has any new information on where this image comes from. The creator himself was the one who said he got it from 4chan, and it's likely been lost to the internet through time. A prominent theory is that it's more likely a painting. You can see an unfinished section of his arm with brushstrokes. You'll also notice the buttons on his vest and some white dots sprinkled throughout, which also makes it look more akin to a painting. If this is the case, we don't know who painted it, or what it was originally supposed to be, and there's a pretty good chance that we'll never know, leaving the origin of this eerie image to be, well, unknown.
Holy man, good fucking video. This guy. Blame it on George. W fucking video, bro. With noties on and sub, bro. Good video. Alright. What driving from Let's do the short one. Let's do the short one.
Face it, you don't sound like a veteran space raider. No one believes you're
War voice.
And that's why you need voice mod.
What does it feel like to die? It's a question that many are curious, if not a little scared about, but scientists are now closer. What does it feel like to die? It's a question that many are curious, if not a little scared about, but scientists are now closer than ever to understanding what actually happens while you're dying. Recently, researchers studied the brains and bodies of dying people to gain new insight into what it feels like as you die. First up, relaxation. A recent meta-analysis found that most people in the Western world will die in medical institutions where the first sign of death is a loss of hunger and thirst. Physicians call this the beginning of active dying, and it is caused by an intense feeling of relaxation where you will likely only be capable of handling small spoonfuls of food and water. Step 2 of death, extreme fatigue and unconsciousness. One study found that 72% of patients in this phase of death reported pre-death dreams involving reuniting with people who had already died, 59% said that they dreamed about getting ready to travel somewhere, and 28% dreamed of meaningful experiences from their past. These pre-death dreams are happening because at this time you are mostly asleep and even dipping into unconsciousness. This means that if someone tries to physically wake you up, nothing will happen. The thing is, studies of unconscious patients show that when they did eventually wake up from being unconscious, they thought they were only just asleep. Essentially, you are not going to be aware of going in and out of consciousness. Some reports say that this stage of dying feels a bit like when you can't get out of bed from an intense cold or flu, but when you are dying, the sleep is no longer rejuvenating and the fatigue is consistent. Because at times you are now
That's horrible. So you just wouldn't know? That's awful.
unconscious, it's harder to plan for oral medications. So at this point, you might be hooked up to syringe pumps or suppositories in order to get oral medications or dying aids before death. Step 3 of death, seeing light. At this point, studies show that your heart will beat less forcefully, your blood pressure will fall, and your organs, including your brain, will function less. Essentially, your brain is trying to conserve energy as it slowly dies, and this causes your brain to lose the power of inhibition. You may have heard people talking about seeing the light or moving towards the light during near-death experiences. Brain studies on rats show that a dying brain's lack of inhibition causes the visual brain system to fire. This has also been found in some human studies as well, which may explain why many people report this phenomenon of seeing light as their brain begins to die. Step 4 of death, scary breathing. Known as the death rattle, an unconscious person's breathing still follows the automatic patterns generated by the respiratory system of their brain. But they don't have proper awareness of their mouth and throat, so saliva builds up. The saliva in the back of the throat mixed with the automatic quick breaths creates loud breathing noises that many people will observe as disturbing, but it's important to note that the person dying is actually feeling no distress. In fact, the reason that this is happening to the dying person is because physiologically they are so relaxed. Step 5 of death, brain surging. A 2013 study on rat brains dying from cardiac arrest found that specific brain regions surged with synchronized low gamma waves more coherent than when the rats were alive and healthy. The brain waves were similar to when rats were engaged in high-level cognitive activity. This, of course, got researchers interested in what's happening to our brains as we die as well. In humans, a study on 567 dying men and women had their brains scanned as they were being resuscitated with CPR. It turns out that, like the rats, the brains
6-7? I am so unfunny, bro.
fired in intense ways, and those who survived the CPR reported lucid experiences such as perception of separation from the body, observing events with no pain or distress, a meaningful evaluation of their life, and assessing their own actions towards others throughout their life. This is again all likely linked to the disinhibition of our brain as we die. It was also found that this disinhibition caused the part of the brain involved in memory to light up, allowing some people to access stored memories, while other patients, when resuscitated, couldn't remember anything that had just happened to them, even though brain scans showed that their brains were firing in uninhibited, active ways. Some of these patients reported knowing that they were dying, but also that they were going towards a place that felt like home. One other study of a man's brain while dying found that his brain activation was similar to people who were on the psychedelic drug DMT. But more recent studies found resuscitated dying people reported that what they had experienced right before death felt different than hallucinations, illusions, or even dreams. But what are people thinking about before they die? Are there common regrets or emotions? We actually did a whole podcast on the cognitive side of dying and people's experiences and advice for death. Link here on screen and in the description over on our podcast channel. Side note, I think about dying all the time. That's why I made this video. Thank you so much for watching, and asa peace. What does it feel like to die?
Good video, bro. Alright. What dying from alcohol overdose feels like. Lock it in.
Picture this. You're out with your friends on a Saturday night. Someone just got promoted. Someone else just broke up with their girlfriend. Someone's birthday was last week and you're celebrating late because nobody could agree on a date. Point is, you're drinking. The kind of night where every round comes with a story and somebody keeps yelling, "One more!" even though it's definitely not one more. You've had maybe 6 shots of vodka, 3 beers, and something called a liquid cocaine that the bartender promised would f you up. You're feeling amazing, invincible. This is the best night ever. Your friend orders another round. You think, I'm already drunk? What's one more gonna do? So you take it, then another, then one more because someone's buying and it's rude to say no. You're stumbling a little, but it's fine. Everyone's stumbling. You're all having a great time. This is what your 20s are for, right? Then the room starts spinning. Not in a fun way, in a something's wrong way. You sit down, try to focus. Your friends are laughing about something, but you can't follow the conversation anymore. You feel nauseous, really nauseous. You stand up to go to the bathroom and your legs don't work right. You take 2 steps and you collapse. Oh, hey there. Before we talk about why your brain's about to shut down like a laptop with a dead battery, let's play a quick game. I'm gonna say some myths about alcohol and you tell me true or false. Ready?
Lock in. Let's go.
Myth 1. If you throw up,
You've gotten the alcohol out of your system and you're safe. No. That is false.
you've gotten the alcohol out of your system and you're safe. True or false? False. Once alcohol's in your bloodstream, throwing up doesn't help. It's already in there doing damage. Plus, you might choke on your own vomit and die anyway, so it's actually worse. Myth 2. Drinking coffee or taking a cold shower
Drinking coffee or taking a cold shower will sober you up. False.
will sober you up. True or false? False. Coffee makes you a wide-awake drunk person. That's it. Only time processes alcohol. Your liver breaks it down at about 1 drink per hour, and there's literally nothing you can do to speed that up. Myth 3. You can't die from alcohol poisoning.
You can't die from alcohol poisoning if you're only drinking beer, not hard liquor. False.
If you're only drinking beer, not hard liquor. True or false? False. Alcohol is alcohol. Drink enough of anything with ethanol in it, and your brain will shut down. Beer just takes longer because you have to drink more volume, but people absolutely die from beer-only binges. All right, now let's talk about what happens when you drink so much that your brain literally forgets how to keep you alive. And quick reminder, Jimi Hendrix, Bon Scott, Amy Winehouse, John Bonham, all legendary musicians who died exactly like this. So if you're thinking this only happens to amateurs, you're wrong. It happens to everyone who drinks too much. So what is alcohol, and why does it turn your brain into a malfunctioning computer? Alcohol, specifically ethanol, is a depressant. When you drink it, about 20% gets absorbed through your stomach and the rest through your small intestine. It hits your bloodstream fast, crosses into your brain, and starts messing with your neurotransmitters. Your brain runs on a balance of excitatory signals, things that make neurons fire, and inhibitory signals, things that slow neurons down. Alcohol enhances GABA, your main inhibitory neurotransmitter, which is why you feel relaxed and less anxious when you drink. At first, this feels great. You're more social, less self-conscious, funnier in your own head. This is the fun part of drinking. But as you keep drinking, alcohol doesn't just relax you. It starts shutting down entire brain regions. Your frontal lobe, which handles decision-making and impulse control, goes offline first. That's why drunk you think's doing more shots is a brilliant idea. Then your cerebellum, the part that controls balance and coordination, starts failing. You stumble, you slur your words, you can't walk in a straight line. But here's where it gets deadly. Deep in your brain is the brainstem, which controls automatic functions like breathing, heart rate, and staying conscious. It's your body's life support system. When your blood alcohol concentration gets high enough, usually around 0.3% to 0.4%, alcohol starts shutting down your brainstem. Specifically, it shuts down your respiratory center, which is the part that tells your lungs to breathe. Your breathing slows down. Then it becomes irregular. Then it stops completely. You're not choosing to stop breathing. Your brain just forgot how to do it automatically. At the same time, you lose consciousness and your gag reflex stops working, which means if you vomit, and you probably will, you can't cough it back up. It goes into your lungs instead of out of your mouth. So you've got two ways to die here. Your brain stops telling you to breathe, or you choke on your own vomit. Sometimes both happen. Either way, you're not getting
So weird.
oxygen, and your brain dies in about 4 to 6
I don't have a gag reflex anymore. It's fucking weird. I used to, now I don't.
minutes without it. Let's walk through the timeline from having a great time to dying on a bathroom floor. Hours 0 to 1. You're drinking, and it's fun. You're loose. You're social. You're telling stories that are probably not as funny as you think they are, but everyone's laughing anyway because they're also drunk. Your blood alcohol concentration is climbing. At 0.05%, you feel relaxed. At 0.08%, you're legally drunk. At 0.12%, you're definitely impaired, but still having a good time. Your frontal lobe is starting to check out, which is why one more shot seems like a good idea even though you've already had 7 drinks in the last hour. Hour 1 to 2. You're still drinking, but you're crossing the line from drunk to dangerously drunk. Your friends might notice you're slurring more than usual or stumbling more than everyone else. Your blood alcohol concentration hits 0.20%, then 0.25%, then pushes towards 0.30%. At this level, you're in blackout territory. You might be walking and talking, but you're not forming memories anymore. Your vision's blurred, the room won't stop spinning, and your body's screaming at you to stop drinking, but your brain's too impaired to listen to those signals. You stumble hard, almost fall, and your friends are starting to get concerned. Someone asks if you're okay. You say you're fine, but you're not fine. Hour 2 to 3. You're not having fun anymore. You're sitting down because standing is impossible. Your skin's pale, you're sweating, and you feel like you might throw up or pass out or both. Your blood alcohol concentration is somewhere between 0.35% and 0.40%, which is well into life-threatening territory. For reference, 0.40% is the LD50 for alcohol, the dose that kills 50% of people who reach it. Your breathing's getting shallow and slow. Instead of 12 to 16 breaths per minute, you're doing maybe 6 or 8. Your brainstem is struggling to keep your respiratory system running. Your friends are trying to keep you awake. They're slapping your face gently, saying your name, asking if you can hear them. You can barely respond. Then you go completely limp, not asleep, unconscious. There's a difference. Asleep, you can be woken up. Unconscious, you can't. Hour 3 to 4. You're fully unconscious and your breathing is critically slow. Maybe one breath every 15 seconds, maybe one every 30 seconds. Sometimes long pauses where you don't breathe at all. Your brainstem's respiratory center is failing. The neurons that fire automatically to make you breathe are so depressed by alcohol that they're barely functioning. Your oxygen saturation is dropping. Your lips and fingernails are turning blue. Your brain isn't getting enough oxygen. And here's where it splits into 2 equally terrible scenarios. Either you vomit while unconscious and it goes into your lungs because your gag reflex is gone, or your breathing just stops completely on its own. Scenario A, you vomit. But because you're unconscious and your gag reflex isn't working, the vomit doesn't come out of your mouth, it goes down into your trachea and into your lungs. Your lungs fill with stomach acid and partially digested food. You can't breathe. You can't cough it up. Your oxygen saturation crashes to 0 in under a minute. Your brain's been without oxygen for 4 minutes. Neurons are dying. Even if someone finds you right now and calls 911, there's a good chance the person you were is already gone. Scenario B. Your breathing just stops. No vomit, no choking. Your brainstem simply stops sending the signal that makes your diaphragm contract. You take one last shallow breath, and then nothing.
That is insane. You're telling me if I drink enough alcohol, I could just stop breathing. or just try to throw up, but the throw up goes in my lungs. That's horrible.
Your chest doesn't move, no air going in or out. Your heart keeps beating for a few more minutes because it has its own electrical system, but without oxygen, it eventually stops too. Cardiac arrest follows respiratory arrest. You're on a bathroom floor. Your friends finally call 911, but it's been at least 15 minutes since you stopped breathing. The paramedics arrive in 8 minutes. They try to resuscitate you, but your brain's been without oxygen for over 20 minutes. Time from first drink to death, just under 4 hours. So what does this actually feel like from your perspective? For the first hour or two, it feels great. You're loose, you're funny, you're confident. Alcohol is doing exactly what you wanted it to do. Then there's a tipping point where fun drunk becomes too drunk. The room starts spinning in a way that's not fun anymore. Your stomach feels wrong. You're sweating even though you're cold. You're fighting to stay upright and fighting waves of nausea at the same time. Your brain's trying to send you warning signals. Stop drinking, you need water, you need to sit down, but those signals are getting drowned out by the alcohol. Then your consciousness starts fading in and out like a bad connection. You're aware for a moment, then nothing, then aware again, but you don't know how much time passed. The last thing you're probably aware of is feeling really, really sick and really, really tired. Not sleepy tired, shutting down tired. And then everything goes dark. Not like closing your eyes, like someone turning off a switch. One moment you exist, the next you don't. You don't feel yourself stop breathing because you're not conscious anymore. You don't feel the vomit going into your lungs. You don't feel your brain dying from lack of oxygen. There's no pain, no panic, no moment of realization. You just fade out. Which sounds peaceful, except you're 23 years old and you died on a bathroom floor because you drank too much at a bar. Reality check. About 2,200 people die from alcohol poisoning every year in the United States. That's 6 people per day. And about 76% of them are adults aged 35 to 64, not college kids. Though plenty of college kids die this way too. The problem is that binge drinking, defined as 5 or more drinks in about 2 hours, is completely normalized. It's what you do on weekends, at parties, during celebrations, after bad breakups. Everyone's got a story about the time they drank way too much and survived, which creates this false sense of security. I've been that drunk before, and I was fine, so I'll be fine this time too. But alcohol tolerance varies based on body weight, sex, genetics, what you've eaten, how fast you're drinking, and about a dozen other factors. What didn't kill you last weekend might kill you tonight. And here's the worst part. People leave their dangerously drunk friends alone to sleep it off because they don't want to ruin the vibe or deal with hospitals or get in trouble for underage drinking. So you die alone in a bedroom or bathroom while your friends are in the next room taking shots and laughing, completely unaware that you stopped breathing 20 minutes ago. If someone's so drunk they can't stand up, can't stay awake, or their breathing looks wrong, call 911 immediately. They can't get in trouble for drinking if they're dead, and you can't get in trouble for saving their life. So there you have it. Alcohol poisoning, slow, preventable, and way more common than anyone wants to admit. The good news is you can drink without dying. Pace yourself, eat food, drink water, don't do 12 shots in 2 hours. The bad news is, if you ignore all that advice, your brain might just forget how to keep you alive. So maybe be the person who stops at 5 drinks instead of 15. Be the person who calls 911 when your friend's not responding. Be boring. Be a buzzkill. Be alive. Because the alternative is becoming one of those 6 people per day who died doing something that's completely legal and socially acceptable. Like and subscribe if you like this video. Stay safe, drink water, and if your friend's passed out and not responding, call 911. They'll either wake up embarrassed or they'll wake up alive. Both are better than not waking up at all.
Yeah, good ass video from my boy, Mr. Death. Been subscribed to him. Love his videos, bro. Absolutely love his videos. Alright, let's see what else we have here. Alright, I think this is last video territory here. What should we go for here? I think we go undercover in the KKK.
Know anything.
How would you guys
know anything about tomato? Two men broke into your house last night to end you. Two men broke into your house last night to end you. You did what you had to do. Now you're sitting at a table across from the man who sent them, and he's asking if you want more coffee. But that's the middle of the story. Let's go back to the beginning. You get the assignment on a Tuesday. Your supervisor slides a folder across the desk and says just 3 words. We need you. Inside the folder is a name and a photograph. The man in the photo looks like someone's grandfather. Your supervisor tells you this man is the leader of his local Ku Klux Klan. Your job is to become his friend. What your supervisor doesn't tell you, what he can't tell you, is that this case is going to force you to make a decision about an innocent woman that has no good answer. A decision that will keep you up for years after it's over. But that comes later. First, you have to become someone else entirely. You move.
Holy shit, imagine getting that job. Imagine getting that job, bro. You just have to go undercover in the KKK.
Over. But that comes later. First, you have to become someone else entirely. You move to the man's town 6 weeks before you even try to meet him. You rent a small place, you get a job at the hardware store on Main, you wave at neighbors, you learn which diner has the best biscuits, and you go there every morning at 6:12 until the waitress pours your coffee before you sit down. You become a regular. A man with a pickup truck and a grudge about the federal government. That's your cover. A man who hates the system. You don't rant, you let it slip out in pieces. A comment about taxes, a shake of the head when the news comes on, fake work history, fake ex-wife in Tallahassee. You build a backstory so tight that no one should suspect anything. The problem is, should. Because on day 9, a man in a gray truck parks across the street from your house for 40 minutes. He doesn't get out, he doesn't check a phone, he just sits there with the engine running, looking at your front door. Could be nothing, could be a guy waiting on a friend. You write down his plate number anyway. First contact with the target happens at a cookout 3 weeks later. Someone introduces you to the man from the photograph. His name is Dale. He shakes your hand and asks where you're from. You answer. He talks about his tomato garden for 10 straight minutes. Soil mix, deer problems, how the heat's been rough this year. You nod. You don't know anything about tomato gardens, but your grandma loved gardening. You tell him you actually love to garden as well, using whatever you can remember. You're connecting with him, relating to him. Major progress. Then you do it. You slip in some comments to let him know you're an ally. Comments that make him understand you're on the same side. He smiles, but that's all. For now. A week later, Dale invites you to a meeting. It's a back room behind a machine shop. 12 men, folding chairs, fluorescent light buzzing overhead. The room smells like motor oil and cigarettes. You notice 2 men in the corner immediately. They're not talking to anyone. They're not eating. They're watching. One of them has his chair angled so his back isn't against the wall. It's against the door. Nobody sits like that by accident. The other strange thing about this room is how normal it feels. The people there, they're your neighbors, your mechanic, the type of guy who may have patched your roof last spring. They laugh the same way. They complain about gas prices. You sit, you listen, you keep your answers short, nod at the right moments, let the silence do the work. The talk starts harmless. The economy, crimes from the local paper, the usual how things used to be. Then it shifts. They slowly stop holding back. The language gets uglier, and by the end, they're saying things that twist your stomach, and they're saying them like they're talking about the weather. You drive home, park in your driveway. You know there's a problem already. Those 2 men who watched you the entire night never blinked. Do they already know you're undercover? No, they can't. It's not possible. You realize you're just being paranoid. One thing is for sure. Next Thursday, you have to walk back into that room. Your FBI handler wants a report every 72 hours. You drive 12 miles to a payphone near a closed shop and make the call fast. Never the same phone twice, never the same route home. You become paranoid about being paranoid. If you're too careful, they notice. If you're not careful enough, you miss something. Or worse, you get caught. And getting caught here isn't an arrest. It's much worse. So you adjust. You forget a weekly meeting once so you seem normal. You make yourself imperfect on purpose. Next Thursday, you go back. The 2 watchers are completely different this time. Friendly, laughing. One of them pats your shoulder when you walk in, like you've known each other for years. That scares you more than the staring did. 3 weeks in, Dale invites you to his house for dinner. His wife makes pot roast. His granddaughter sits on his lap and shows you a drawing she made at school. Dale looks at you and says,
Holy tough art. Give this person an Oscar. Oscar. For that tough ass painting.
You're good people. I'm glad you moved here. And you feel it, a real warmth in your chest. For half a second, you forget what this man is. You forget why you're sitting at his table. You just feel like someone's friend. You drive home and sit in your driveway for 20 minutes with the engine running. That's the moment you realize this job doesn't just ask you to pretend to be someone else. It asks you to become someone else. And the longer you stay, the harder it gets to remember which one is real. The next day, Dale pulls you aside after the meeting, puts a hand on your shoulder, and says, "Next week, we need to talk to you about something." You smile and say sure. That sentence means one of 2 things. They trust you enough to go deeper, or they think there's something off about you. Next week, you pull into the machine shop lot. Something is already wrong. Dale, the 2 watchers, a 4th man you've never seen before who is built like a refrigerator and hasn't smiled once since you walked in. The door closes behind you. You hear the lock turn. Then the big man steps forward. Take your shirt off. Your stomach drops. You're wearing a wire. You have exactly 1 second to keep your face steady. You laugh and say, "Excuse me?" "We check everyone who comes into a conversation like this," Dale says. His voice is flat. His eyes are not friendly. Your brain is running at 1,000 miles an hour. The wire runs along the inside lining of your jacket. The transmitter is sewn into the collar. One device, one place to find it. You pull your shirt over your head. You hand it to the refrigerator. He runs his hands across every seam. He checks the collar. He checks everything. Then he hands it back. jacket too, he says. You take it off. He turns the jacket inside out. His fingers move across the lining toward the collar. You watch his hands. You cannot look away. You just stare at his fingers moving 1 inch at a time toward the sewn transmitter, and you think that this is it. They caught you. His fingers stop half an inch short. He hands it back. He's clean, he says. Dale nods, and now, apparently, they trust you. Dale sits down. The 4 men lean in, and that's when he says her name. A civil rights attorney in Atlanta. He describes how she's been helping send their friends to jail. He describes what needs to happen to make her stop. He's saying she needs to disappear. You sit in that chair absorbing a murder plot against an innocent person, and you nod slowly. But even after the check, the 2 watchers in the corner still haven't relaxed. Their eyes move to you every few minutes. They ran the test. You passed the test. But they still don't believe you. You wonder if it was something you said. Or maybe they could sense your nervousness during the wire check. Either way, you need to be even more careful now. You drive to the payphone. You're 2 miles out when you see headlights behind you. You don't speed up. You make a right turn. The headlights turn right. You make a left, then another right, then a left again. The headlights stay exactly 4 car lengths back through every single turn. Then they pull off suddenly onto a side road and the headlights disappear. At the time, you think you lost them. You make your call to your handler and you drive home. Then, a stone's throw away from your front door, you see it. A car parked tight against the wall of an abandoned house on the left side of your street, hidden from every direction except yours. From that exact position, your front door is completely visible. That's when you understand. The tail wasn't trying to follow you. They wanted to see you leave. While you were gone, someone else moved into position. You act like you went to bed, but you don't sleep. You lie there with your hand 3 inches from a silenced pistol on the nightstand. Every sound the house makes sets your nerves on edge. At 2 a.m., you hear it. The back door. Someone picking the lock, taking their time, trying to be quiet. Then the softest creak of a hinge you've ever heard. You roll off the bed onto the floor, pistol in hand. You press your back against the wall beside the bedroom door and you wait. You left $200 in cash on the kitchen table, visible from the doorway. They walk right past it. You hear 1 set of footsteps moving toward the bedroom. Then they stop. Dead stop. Right outside your door. That's when you realize it. The picture of you and your sister on the wall. It's at your graduation. You were in full federal gear. They're looking at it right now. They know. You come through the bedroom door fast and low. The man spins around. It's one of the 2 watchers. He gets 1 hand up before you close the distance, and then it's a brawl in the dark. You take a hit to the ribs that would have dropped a smaller man. You hear him call for help. Another set of footsteps starts moving up the stairs fast. You end it with a pistol. 1 shot, suppressed. In a dark house on a quiet street at 2 a.m., it sounds like a book dropped on a hardwood floor. Then another one. The second man is down. You stand in your own hallway and the house is quiet again. Your hands are shaking and you can't make them stop. Then you get to work. You spend the next 3 hours cleaning up a situation that cannot exist. 2 men who were never here. At 5 a.m., you sit at your kitchen table and you think about what comes next. They sent 2 men to confirm their suspicion, and neither of them is coming back with an answer. When 2 men don't report back, the people who sent them draw their own conclusions. You talk to your handler. He wants you to stay undercover, at least for the next meeting. You tell him you need backup. Close. He says it's already in motion. You have exactly 14 hours before that meeting, and you have to walk in there like nothing happened. It's time. the machine shop. You walk in and Dale looks at you for exactly 1 second longer than usual. You seen the rest of the guys? He asks. Like who? You say. He shrugs. 2 guys who were supposed to check in with me this morning. They said they wanted to look into something. I haven't heard from them. You lean against the wall and cross your arms. People flake, you say. Dale watches your face. 5 full seconds. Then he nods slowly and moves on. That's when it happens. The refrigerator locks the door. Dale asks you to sit down. You ask him what this is all about, but he cuts you off and tells you to sit down again. You sit. Dale pulls a chair across the floor and sits 2 feet in front of you, close enough that you can smell the cigarette smoke on him.
What is this tough ass music? Just putting it out though, this is some tough ass music.
His collar. I'm going to ask you something, he says, and I need you to look me in the eye when you answer. You look him in the eye. Did you have anything to do with my guys going missing? No, you say. No hesitation, no blank. You say it the way a man says something that's obviously true. Dale stares at you for a long time. You can hear the fluorescent light buzzing. You can hear your own pulse. Then he leans back. All right, he says. Then we move forward. You want some coffee? Then he asks the refrigerator to go look for them. In the meantime, he moves forward with the plan. He slides a photograph across the table. It's the attorney, taken outside her office, time-stamped 2 days ago. Friday night, Dale says. Her husband leaves for a conference. She'll be alone. He looks at you. You're driving. And there it is. The decision from the beginning. The one with no good answer. If you say no, every ounce of your trust you've built collapses. Dale connects the dots, the missing men, your hesitation. You don't make it out of this room. If you say yes, you become part of a murder plot against an innocent woman. And even if the FBI steps in to stop it, you have to ride with these men toward her house, knowing that if anything goes wrong, if the timing is off by 30 seconds, she dies. You think about your sister. You think about the photo on the wall that you should have taken down months ago. You think about how far inside this thing you've gone and whether the person sitting in this chair is even you anymore. You nod. I'm driving, you say. Friday comes fast. You spend the day before going over the route with your handler. There are 4 intercept points, agents at every one, snipers on 2 rooftops, and a helicopter staged 11 minutes away. They tell you the window is tight, but manageable. Manageable. That's the word they use. You ask what happens if something goes wrong. Your handler pauses 1 second too long before he says, it won't. Friday night, 9:47 p.m. You're behind the wheel of a stolen sedan. Dale is in the passenger seat. The refrigerator is in the back with a bag you haven't looked inside. Nobody talks for the first 2 miles. The only sound is the engine and the road and Dale cracking his knuckles one at a time. You pass the first intercept point. Nothing happens. You check the mirror. No lights, no movement, just a dark road behind you. You pass the second intercept point. Still nothing. Your chest gets tight. You start doing math in your head. 4 miles to her house, 2 intercept points left. If they don't move at the third one, that leaves 1 chance before you pull into her driveway. 3 miles out. Dale opens the glove box and pulls out a pair of latex gloves. He puts them on slowly, 1 finger at a time. He doesn't look at you. 2 miles out. The refrigerator unzips the bag. You are driving toward this woman's house and you are thinking about every single thing that has to go right in the next 90 seconds for her to survive this night. 1 mile out. Then the road lights up. Blue and red from every direction. Helicopters, loudspeakers. Dale looks at you. He doesn't say a word. He doesn't have to. His eyes say everything. You don't look back. 3 months later, Dale gets 40 years. The rest of them get between 15 and 25. The attorney never knows, how close it actually got. You go home, your real home. You sit on your couch and stare at the wall and you wait for it to feel like a win. It doesn't. Because for 3 days you were willing to drive, and you passed 2 intercept points where nothing happened and you didn't pull over. You didn't stop the car. You kept going. You'll never know for certain whether you said yes to protect the mission or because saying no might have meant dying. You tell yourself it was the mission. You tell yourself that every night.
Yo, good ass video by the Wealth Explainer. W, guys. Alright, I think that's going to be the end of the stream, guys. I'll see you guys later.
Once the